Welcome to Jazz Time. JazzTime.com is an online store that buys, sells, trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so our customers can easily choose the best watch for themselves in the comfort of their own home. If you like this watch and would like to buy it, click on the link in the description below to buy it at JazzTime.com. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the Rolex Day-Date 40 in yellow gold with a black dial, reference 228238. I'm going to talk to you about the bezel, the dial, the case, the bracelet, the movement, try it on, and give you my thoughts. So let's start. This is the Day-Date 40. It's part of the Day-Date line. Rolex makes the Day-Date in either 36mm or 40mm, 36 being the small or the gentlemanly sized Day-Date, or the larger, newer Day-Date 40. Now, the Day-Date 40 came about approximately 10 years ago, and it was before the Day-Date 40, there was what's called a Day-Date 2, and that was 41mm. Now, that one was a little bit too big. Rolex was going from 36 to 41, trying to keep up with the trend because people wanted bigger watches. Back in approximately 2005, people were wanting larger watches, and a Day-Date 36 was the largest. So Rolex came out with the Day-Date 2, which is 41mm. It was a little bit bulky and the proportions were not exactly right. So after about 7 years or so, they slimmed it down, and it's now at a very comfortable 40mm, which is what you see in front of you now. This is the final evolution of the Day-Date. Now, most men, I would say men with a wrist size of 7 inches or larger, which equates to approximately 160 pounds or greater, can wear a Day-Date 40. And if you have a wrist size of 7 inches or smaller, then you can consider the smaller size of Day-Date 36, which is also a great size as well. Size is very important because the watch, of course, naturally needs to fit. It's like a pair of shoes or a backpack or any article of clothing. It's very similar. The item has to fit and make you look good. So it's very important to choose the right size Day-Date. Now, with that said, this is the Day-Date 40. It's the largest of the Day-Date collection that Rolex makes, and pretty much it's for men. Now, women do wear larger watches, but I don't recommend women wearing Day-Date 40s. I think they should probably be wearing Day-Date 36 at the very largest. Although I have seen some women wear the 40, but it's probably recommended for most women to wear 36 if they want to go Day-Date that large. Okay, well, with that said, let's talk about the case a little bit. The case, as the name implies, is 40mm. That's from the 8 o'clock to the 2 o'clock position. My thumb to my index finger, the longest distance across the bezel of this watch or the case of this watch, and that's 40mm. Now, if you turn it on its side, this watch is approximately 12mm, which is about the same size as the Datejust. Interestingly enough, even though this has both a day and a date, the day being Monday through Sunday at the 12 o'clock position, and the date 1 through 31 on the right at the 3 o'clock position. Even though it has an extra function of day and date, it still is just as thick as a 12mm Datejust. So somehow they were able to pack it all into this small size. Now, 12mm is considered a standard size of a watch. Any smaller than that would be considered like a ultra thin or thin, and any larger would be thick. So an AP automatic Piguet, for example, is usually 13-14mm if you're talking the offshore, and that's considered thick. And Patek Philippe makes watches somewhere in the 10mm range, and that's considered thin. So Rolex is right in the middle of that, 12mm. Okay, most people are not going to complain about 12mm. Now, Rolex makes this watch in many different materials. They make it in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, and platinum, of course, actually. This one is made in yellow gold. Now, Rolex has its own gold foundries where they mix the gold so that they have the exact correct proportions of so that the watch maintains the right luster and has the right amount of proportions of silver, copper, platinum, and palladium, and they mix it just right, and they do it in their own in-house laboratories with a state-of-the-art equipment, so that the gold is formed and shaped to the exact specifications that Rolex wants. It's their commitment to excellence, and it begins at the source. So There you go. There you have it on the gold. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the bezel. Now this bezel is a fluted bezel. Rolex makes the Day-Date in either the fluted bezel or they make it with a diamond bezel. Now the fluted bezel, I have to say, is the signature of Rolex, not the diamond bezel, the fluted bezel, which is what you see here, which actually, in my opinion, it's better to have the fluted bezel than the diamond bezel because it's a mark of distinction. Originally, the fluted bezel had a functional purpose. It served to screw the bezel onto the case, allowing to ensure waterproofness of the watch. But over time, it has become a Rolex signature feature. It's no longer used for that. They use other ways to waterproof it, but it's an aesthetic portion now. And I would say that it's the most identifiable part of the Rolex. So I don't think you should change it to a diamond. I think you should keep it as the fluted bezel. So there you have it. Okay, that's the fluted bezel. And it's of course yellow gold 18 karat. Now let's talk about the dial. Now the dial is quite special. It's black dial. Now you might be wondering, why would the black dial be special? Well, I'll tell you why. Because number one, it has a sunray finish, which allows the dial to have a delicate light reflection that looks different in different shades of light. And the way that they brush the black on here, it creates grooves running outwards from the center of the dial, and light is diffused consistently along each engraving, allowing it to look different in different lights. And the dial color is applied by using physical vapor deposition or electroplating. Okay, a light coat of varnish gives the dial its final look. Now, they used to actually make this black dial with the index with a thing that's called motif dial. It was like this cross pattern. It almost looked like a t-shirt. It had like this cross motif pattern. If you want to know what that looks like, you can go to jazztime.com. They discontinued that dial to make this sunray flat black dial. Why exactly, I'm not sure, but they did. So maybe the other black dial didn't do so well, I'm not sure, but they have this is the new dial as of 2023. If you like black, which I think black on yellow gold is an excellent combination, the other option you have is with a baguette dial. That means with diamond indexes, not round circle diamonds. Now, circular diamonds kind of looks feminine, but index dials, baguette dials, which is index style hour markers, does not look feminine and looks very manly. Actually, just looks very rich and expensive, which looks great. Okay, so that's what's special about this dial, is that it succeeds the previous black motif dial, and I think this one looks better, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the dial. Let's talk about the bracelet. Now the bracelet is the President bracelet. This watch actually is also known as the President watch. Now why? Because many presidents have worn it, and the bracelet itself is a President bracelet. Rolex has the Oyster bracelet, the Jubilee bracelet, and they only put the President bracelet, not the Vice President, not the ex-president, not the impeached president, but the actual President bracelet goes on the President watch, which is what you see here. That makes sense, right? You put the President bracelet on the most expensive watch that you have. So there you have it. And this was actually created in 1956, a very long time ago, but it represents the ultimate refinement and comfort, and it's the ultimate bracelet that Rolex can make. That hence the name President, nothing higher than the President. Okay. All right, so that's the President bracelet. Let's talk about the movement here. Now the movement is also updated. It's the 3255 movement. It has a power reserve of 70 hours. It's covered so you can't see it anyways, but it is an updated movement, and this represents the best that Rolex has to offer. It's the pinnacle of Rolex dress watch, and power watch, and everything watch, and gangster watch, and whatever. You know, this is it. Once you've achieved the President, you pretty much are at the top. Not much else to go. All right. Okay, so let's try this on. I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, and I'm trying this on, and I want to tell you what my thoughts are. I've kind of said a little bit about it before, but basically I think this is a fantastic watch. I think a lot of people aspire to own the President one day and they've probably seen their boss or their boss's boss or somebody wearing this in movies, and it's an iconic watch. So a lot of people know what it is. It's unmistakably Rolex, and in this configuration of yellow gold, which is striking, and this deep contrast of black dial, it really looks like a baller watch. If you're a lawyer, it looks like a high-powered, FU watch. If I'm gonna send your butt to jail, or if you're a businessman, it says, hey, I know what I'm doing. I run good business. Or if you're like a rapper, it says, I do platinum albums. Okay, so I think it would be really great to have this watch. Now, if you like to own this watch, you simply click on the link in the description below and you can buy it at jazztime.com. All right, thank you.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to Model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at jazztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in JazzTime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.